Beautiful sights here from Mountain West time zone. Beautiful day here at Coors Field. Cubs taking on the Rockies, game 3 of 3 here in Denver. It's time for our keys to the game, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealer. JD, what do we got?
Yeah, well, turn the page. That refers to Edward Cabrera. Rough one for him last time out. He gave up 8 runs, so he needs to wash that away. Get after it here this afternoon. Go right at him. You see, we got right in bold yellow letters. You want right-handed hitters facing Feltner. He's been nails against the lefties. Lefties hit just 158 against them. Right-handed batters, 290. Happy flight. Ian Happ hit his 15th home run of the year last night. Flight because we're leaving after the game. So hopefully a winning Ian Happ here today. You know, he's having, as a left-handed hitter, a bona fide all-star season. Check out these numbers from the left side. 265, 396, 556 slug. That's a 962 OPS.
That's pretty good. Hitting from the left side today against Ryan Feltner. Pete Crow Armstrong will lead things off for the Cubs. We have starting lineups. We have first pitch here. Cubs Rockies coming up next. Chicago Cubs Baseball, Marquee Sports Network, is brought to you by the Bob LaCurcio Auto Group. You're going to like buying a car this way. By Circa Sports. And by your local Hyundai dealer. Find the dealer nearest you at buyhyundai.com. Back here in the broadcast booth at Coors Field, game 3 of 3, Cubs taking on the Rockies, a series finale here in Denver. Alex Cohen, Jim DeShays up here in the booth. And for the first time today, let's send it down to the field for Elise Smeneker for more on the Cubs offense. Elise.
Alex, there were 2 things that I wanted to ask Craig Counsell. First, is he surprised by this stretch? You know, the downtime that you've seen from this offense. And he said, we have good offensive players. So, yeah, it is surprising the length that this has gone on. It's also challenging. And he said, we're trying to find solutions to get this in the right direction. The second thing that I wanted to ask him, you know, there's the narrative. You come to this ballpark, it's a hitter's park like yesterday. You're facing a struggling starter, so you should have more offense in theory. And he said, well, hitting is simple. Look, when you get the pitch that you should hit, you need to be hitting it hard. We have hard hit balls, but we have not had enough of them. So he's seeing this more as they're just missing their pitch. It's not, say, like a chase situation where they're swinging and chasing all these pitches. He's just saying you have to do damage on those pitches that you want.
Well, the path of finding those solutions starts today here for the Cubs. Again, coming into the game 34 and 34. And the Cubs lineup is as followed this afternoon. Pete Crow Armstrong, Alex Bregman, Michael Busch, 1, 2, 3. Middle of the order, Ian Happ, Seiya Suzuki, Nico Horner, 4, 5, 6. And then 7, 8, 9, Moises Ballesteros, Carson Kelly, and Dansby Swanson.
And on the mound for the Rockies here this afternoon, it's right-hander Ryan Feltner. He was a 4th-round pick 2018 after a great career at Ohio State. IL stint this year, 5 weeks actually, ulnar nerve inflammation. And we talked about those reverse splits. He's been nails against left-handed batters. They're hitting just 158 against him.
Well, against Feltner in the first inning, it's lefty, righty, lefty. PCA, Bregman, and Busch. Part of a 6-game road trip here for the Cubs. Finish off against Colorado, flight to San Francisco tonight, and then a weekend series against the Giants.
Last time out for Feltner against Milwaukee, he was really good. 6 innings, allowed just 1 run. He's been good here at Coors this year. He's made 5 starts. He's 2-0 with a 3.24. We showed you his mix in our open. Fastball at 95. He'll throw the 4-seamer and the sinker. Slider, sweeper, curve, and change.
See, these Rockies pitchers, especially the starters, you're seeing 6, 7 pitch arsenals. The Sugano, Lorenzen, and now Ryan Feltner against Pete Crow Armstrong. First pitch, and it's a ball, count 1-0. And we will have a first pitch challenge.
Yeah, it came a little bit late, but they're going to give it to him. This is a bold challenge, first pitch of the game. But he got it right.
Correct. Yep. ABS is powered by T-Mobile. 1 pitch, 1 challenge, and 1 challenge accepted. Oh, 1. Tapper back to the mound. Feltner, 1 away.
And that right there probably why he's been so good against lefties. Good changeup, caught Pete out in front. And you see the good diving action on that pitch.
Cubs were sent down in order yesterday, the first 3 innings, by Michael Lorenzen. Bregman takes a strike. Slight lineup shift for the Cubs this afternoon. Alex Bregman hitting out of the 2 spot. Walked twice yesterday, 2 hits in the series opener. Just upstairs.
The counts had been going with that very heavy left-handed top of the batting order, but with this guy's numbers against lefties, he's going to stick a righty in between PCA and Michael Busch.
Bregman spins it foul behind home plate.
There are the splits that we're talking about. Righties have had their way against them for the most part. Lefties, not so much.
One-two pitch to Bregman. Good take. Cubs unfortunately 0-9-1 in their last 10 series. That includes this one where they lose the first 2 games. Try to win the finale today. So from 1-2 to 3-2 to Bregman.
Plate discipline has been at the core for Alex Bregman throughout his career. Feltner trying to get him to chase those sliders off the plate, and Alex is not going to have any of it. Throw me a strike, would you please?
He does swing and a miss, strike 3.
Came out of his game, got a little antsy, got a little anxious. I wouldn't be surprised to find out if that was the highest pitch that Alex Bregman has ever swung at in his career. And there's probably data out there to prove that one way or the other.
Michael Busch, 16-game on-base streak. A hit yesterday, a home run in game 1. Slow breaking ball taken high.
Feltner's been on the big league scene off and on since 2021. He's dealt with a bunch of injuries throughout his career. 2024, he made 30 starts. That's the most he's ever made in a single year, and no more than 19 in any other season.
Pop up left side. Sterling Thompson couldn't find it in left. Now recovers and just makes the catch. Cubs get sent down in order in the top of the first. No score here from Coors Field.
Today,
you're gonna like buying a car this way.
Bottom 1 at Coors Field, 0-0 Cubs and the Rockies. Now it's our first look at the Rockies lineup, and it's brought to you by Ford. Julian, Castro, Rumfield, 1-2-3, Goodman, Johnson, Carrick, 4-5-6, Thompson, Tovar, and Sullivan, 7-8-9.
Hey, here comes the big smooth for the 101st time in his major league career, his 99th start. He really likes his changeup. He'll throw 33% of the time. His velo was up a good bit in that start last time out. It didn't really pan out too well for him. He got roughed up, but it was good to see that fastball averaging a little better than 97 miles per hour.
He topped out at 99.5. Hardest fastball he's thrown this season. 1 ball, 1 strike to Edward Julian. 1 for 1 yesterday. Pinch hit Spotty, had 2 hits in game 1. There's 97 from Cabrera.
Rockies, for the most part, a very aggressive team. Highest swing rate in the sport.
One, 2. Takes a changeup inside. Cabrera throws that changeup 33% of the time. Ground ball right back to Cabrera. Underhands the first one away.
It was a comebacker in his last start that was kind of his undoing. Ground ball up the middle, and had he left it alone, it's probably an inning-ending double play, and he deflected it, turned into an infield hit, and then Matt Chapman hit a grand slam against one of 3 home runs he allowed in that start.
Called strike at 98.
Now here's we're talking about Friday. So he's in a jam. He's got first and second. Tries to go between the legs to make the play on that ball. Dansby right there in position to turn that double play. And you see Edward was clearly upset about it. And I don't know if that impacted, his approach after that. But he threw that hanging breaker, and Chapman cleared the bases. Something the Giants they've been on a grand slam jag here over the last couple weeks.
Hit one yesterday to win it. Bryce Eldridge, big time come from behind victory against the Nationals.
Willie Castro hitting here. He's a switch hitter. He's better from the right side. Certainly has been this year.
Three hits in game one, yeah.
Cabrera trying to follow up a real nice effort from Imanaga yesterday.
Line drive base hit for Castro.
Good work by Castro here with that. I don't know if it's a changeup or a sinker, but it's moving down and away and just rides it the other way.
Runners off. Throw down to second's a good one, and he's safe. Pretty close.
Throughout his career, Cabrera's been pretty easy to run on. Takes a big fellow a while to get that ball to home plate. There will not be a challenge coming from the Cubs dugout. It's a good throw by Carson Kelly. Castro, this is his 5th steal, but he's been caught 4 times, so he's not been particularly effective with the running game. This time he is just in ahead of that throw.
Tapper foul by Rumfield. One of the heroes yesterday for the Rockies in their walk-off. Rockies were down 1-0 in the 8th inning, and T.J. Rumfield against Jacob Webb, a 2-run home run.
Putting together an outstanding rookie campaign.
Cabrera misses upstairs. 97-mile-per-hour heater. Two one. Look at Cabrera coming into the game. 53 strikeouts, 57 2/3 innings pitched. Known for his swing and miss stuff, and he walks Rumfield there.
The strikeout rate is down so far this year for Cabrera, but the stuff obviously is quite good. See the sinker, the velo on the sinker and the 4-seamer up a good bit. Friday versus the Giants relative to his first 10 starts. Throws that power changeup, 93, 94 miles an hour. The slider and the curveball can both be real nice weapons for him. He gets hurt on his fastball. So despite that velocity, that's kind of been the story of his career.
Not just this year, that way in Miami as well. Now back at the screen behind home plate. Cabrera in his last start against the Giants got touched up for 8 runs, 6 strikeouts, 13 swings and misses. The 1. Popped up.
Somebody.
Just can't find it. And they'll throw to second and get the force.
No, that should have been infield fly rule.
They call it infield fly?
There's no force play there. We're tagging people, and we have confusion.
Well, without the infield fly rule, it would have been a forced play with runners at first and second. Yeah.
Are they going to say nobody called the infield fly rule? I don't know. There, he's calling it right there, isn't he, behind the plate? Okay, infield fly rule, batter's out, and you can advance on your own, and that's why he's at third base. So they did call the infield fly rule.
Got it.
So much confusion so early in the day. Let's go.
It's too early for this stuff.
Bases loaded or first and second occupied, less than 2 outs, ball in the infield or shallow outfield where an infielder can settle under it. That's when the infield fly rule is in effect. Runners can advance at their own risk. Every once in a great while, you'll see an infielder let a ball drop intentionally and trying to catch a base runner in a little bit of a brain cramp moment, abandoning his base. In this instance, Castro able to make it to third base.
Love you turning into Dean Blandino there.
Well, I know there's people at home that have watched baseball for years and years ago. Hey, we're not idiots, pal. You don't need to explain the infield fly rule to us. And I apologize to you folks, but there are some people watching who probably don't know what the infield fly rule is, so that's for them. Send your letters to Mike Leary, care of Marquee Sports.
First, it's a scoreless inning for Edward Cabrera. Nice work. We'll go to the second.
Deals.
Snow on the mountaintops here in summer in Colorado. 0-0, top 2. Alex Cohen, Jim DeShays, Elise Menaker, series finale. Coors Field. Cubs in danger of being swept by the Rockies here for the first time since 2012. Let's take it outside to Ian Happ. Happ pops it up. Left center. Kerrigan, same with Thompson. Carrick makes the catch.
We invited passionate soccer fans to push Nissan vehicles to the limit, just like they do with their teams. Hurry in to the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
Now get 0% APR for 60 months on Frontier.
So 4 up, 4 down for Ryan Feltner. So it goes around. Had difficulty with that pitch this series.
Yeah, this series and a whole bunch of series before this one.
Pop up right side, goes into the seats.
Yeah, I think it was a good point that Elise made earlier in reference to her conversation with Craig Counsell and Counsell's belief that it's not like the Cubs are chasing a lot of bad balls. Now we saw Bregman go way out of the zone his first at bat. But, you know, so we talk about pressing, and usually you correlate that with, you know, the team's trying too hard, they're swinging at bad balls. I think it could be just the brain gets in the way of the body, and you end up taking pitches that you should be trying to hit because you get caught in between. You're thinking so much and just not being an athlete.
Cubs struck out double-digit times yesterday. But overall, that really hasn't been as much of a problem this season. Walk rate still among the league best.
And you just can't afford to strike out a bunch in this ballpark because you get rewarded here for putting it in play.
Nico got rewarded yesterday. Blue double. Single in game 1, double yesterday. Tried to attack a 2-0 pitch.
You can see why Feltner throws so many sliders. He's got a really good one. That was a lane changer there, and 90 miles an hour. Making a quick turn.
That hard slider.
Another one. Nico doesn't swing and miss all that often, but two quality sliders here.
Throw of a challenge.
Pitcher's called the ball. Catcher's challenging.
And it stays a ball.
Colorado has one challenge remaining.
Call is confirmed.
He got it right in the first inning, but man, this guy's an aggressive challenger. I don't know if they keep, leverage situation charts one guy's challenge, but super aggressive.
Half swing by Nico, so I'll pop up the short. 6 up, 6 down for Ryan Feltner.
It's bottom of the second, no score here at Coors Field. Edward Cabrera getting to start today, and I asked Craig Counsell about Cabrera because, he's a pitcher with so much upside. Have we seen it yet? And Craig thinks we could be close or headed in that direction. So here's the thing. He thought earlier in the season that, at least the way Craig was seeing it, he was really close to being his best self. Now, while he hasn't reached that point yet, and it may have faded, especially as he got closer to that blister situation, as this one is a foul ball, he thinks that, this is a situation where it will help Cabrera the more he can be out there. So the more continuity he gets, being out there every 5th day, that will benefit him. And he also just thinks that, a start like last time where he gives up 8, sometimes it can be a function of you haven't been out there in a little bit, because the velocity, guys, that was up, and Counsell's saying, that's a good sign, and maybe we can build on that. So, there's so much here for Cabrera that maybe is still, he can tap into.
Breaks the bat of Carrick there.
Yeah, obviously, big, strong kid with a big arm. So there's a world of potential, and that's what the Cubs were betting on when they acquired him.
Did a deal for 3 Cubs prospects, the headliner being Owen Casey.
Right off the end of that bat.
He needs another bat. Just take the slide glove out of his pocket. That's huge. Line drive, foul ball. That's another broken bat. An expensive at bat for Cole Carrick.
Well, 3rd day in the big leagues, and get to the big leagues, get all the bats you need. Reading some scouting reports on Carrick here in this series, and I've seen him described as plays like his hair's on fire. I've seen Stallion, I've seen Colt. He's a high energy guy. Got a lot of consonants in his name for no reason.
Check swing. Yes, he did.
Got some beef with Nestor Saya down there at 3rd base. Let's see what Nestor saw. He's got a legitimate beef. I don't think he went.
Had a gripe. Goes unheard. 1 up, 1 down for Cabrera. Last night's hero, Sterling Thompson, had that walk-off single in the 9th. Born in Colorado, grew up in Florida, went to Florida. Die-hard Rockies fan growing up. Big fan of Troy Tulowitzki. The
Rockies were 3 for 3 in the pinch in last night's ball game. All meaningful hits, too. Foul
ball towards the first base dugout foul. JD, a quick follow-up on the infield fly rule that we had in the first inning. Isn't there a provision in there or part of it that's ordinary effort? It's to be ordinary effort for the player to make the catch.
I don't have the. I think it's once the player settles. Once the umpire deems that it's a play that the infielder can make.
Got it.
I don't know if there's language that talks about routine effort or not.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Edward Cabrera in the second. Oh.
You won't be familiar with this song, but many years ago there was a country song, "Swingin'," something to that effect, just a swingin'.
Okay.
That should be this kid's walk-up music, because he goes up there hacking.
How do you know I wouldn't be familiar with it?
No,
I'm not. Am I that transparent?
Well, I just think it's an age thing, See if I can do the Google machine here. "Swingin'" by John Anderson, 1982.
Bring up some songs from 1982 when we were here this morning. They were bumping some John Denver.
Yeah, they had kind of a diverse mix working here in the ballpark.
Yeah, it was Flo Rida and John Denver.
Picture perfect day here. The last 2 days in Denver have been really hot. It's cooled off some here today. Just ideal conditions. Anticipated high of 80 here this afternoon. It was 90-ish the last couple of days. And hope everybody's doing okay back in Chicago. Tough storms blew through there yesterday.
Swing and a missed, strike three. Edward Cabrera. 1-2-3 inning and strikes out the side in order.
Just a swinging.
Professional grade.
Live odds brought to you by Bet365. Winning is everything. First pitch ball to Moises Ballesteros. Brought in the Cubs' first run yesterday. RBI groundout. Brought in Pete Crow Armstrong after a leadoff triple. JD, we've seen Ballesteros. He was scorching hot. Middle of April, end of April, early May. Had a rough stretch. Hits that hard to second. Lunging play. Edward Julian over to first.
Yeah, obviously a very gifted, talented young hitter. I think next phase for Mo, if he can get the ball airborne a little bit more. Nice play here by Julien, the Frenchman from Quebec City.
Tapper by Kelly Fout. So hard contact from Ballesteros. Lead off ground out, 7 up, 7 down for Ryan Feltner.
It feels like that's been just a theme here for the Cubs. Too many easy innings, so many 3 up, 3 downs. Able to apply a lot of pressure.
Started 9 up, 9 down yesterday against Lorenzen. That stopped with a leadoff triple in the 4th from PCA. Kelly rips it to short. It's caught by Tovar. Here's Dansby Swanson. First pitch. It's a ball. Dansby yesterday walked. He doubled the series opener on Tuesday. Pop up here. First base side. Rumfield couldn't find it for a moment. Now he does in foul ground, and he makes the catch. 9 up, 9 down for Ryan Feltner. We are scoreless, middle 3.
Bottom of the third, still no runs on the board, and something kind of interesting and fun that I've seen Seiya do before the game. A few hours before first pitch, he goes in the outfield, warms up his arm. He throws some pitches. So this was yesterday before the game, and I asked him before today's game why he does it, when he started doing it. So the situation is he started doing this last year, and it's just something to do it different, get his mind on something else. And so he grew up a pitcher, also played shortstop, pitched through high school or until high school, then he had an injury.
Hammered to right, and it's 1-0 Rockies. Second homer of the year for Brett Sullivan, a no-doubter. He circles the bags, and he gives the Rockies the initial lead here in the bottom of the third.
Well up above the belt. Sullivan does a nice job staying level through that swing, and you can tell the way he flips that bat away, he knows he got every bit of it.
All right, Elise, continue that fun story,
I'll
please.
finish this because after I just talked through a home run, I might never get in again today. Okay, so Seiya, he pitched through high school. He started at 8, 9 years old. That's when he was also shortstop and a pitcher. In high school, get this, he's throwing 92 miles per hour. Then I mentioned he had a leg injury, so that's why he stopped throwing and moved to the outfield. All right, listen to this arsenal. He's got a fastball, sinker, curve, slider, sweeper, change. The change is his best pitch, and it was funny because as I was talking to Seiya about this, Pete Armstrong can hear, and he chimes in. He's like, hey, I can take him so deep. I know exactly how that fastball moves. So, this is just the guys having fun, staying loose. I always find it interesting when a player kind of channels another skill or just tries to be loose and athletic, because so many games in a year, you're just trying to, keep your body and your mind in the best shape that you can.
And especially during a stretch like this, anytime to be loose and change up the brain chemistry a little bit can hopefully help, or at least it's a good opportunity. PCA in, and he slides and makes the catch.
Who knows, maybe Seiya has a secret desire to be Ohtani. He's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. He's going to put his services out there as a two-way player.
Shot by Castro to third, picked up by Bregman across the diamond, 2 outs. To the 9-hole hitter, Brett Sullivan leads off the inning with a homer. Deep into the seats and right. TJ Rumfield had a 2-run home run deep into the seats and right yesterday. Rockets that one, right center. Pete into the gap. He dives! Oh, baby!
That was fun to watch. Sinking line drive, PCA on the move. Does the Superman routine. Nobody does it better.
Cubs looking for a run. Cubs looking for a hit. Cubs looking for a base runner. 9 up, 9 down for Ryan Feltner. Cubs down 1-0, and it's the top of the order due up. Pete, his first at bat, got out in front of a changeup and tapped it back to the pitcher. Line drive, right side, foul ball.
Time for the Allstate Good Hands replay, and PCA continues to make one spectacular play after another out there in center field. Not easy at altitude to kind of read the ball off the bat. It flies a little bit differently here, but no issues.
Beat to shallow right center. It's the first base runner for the Cubs. Didn't get all of it, but a leadoff single. Sarcastic smile and a leadoff base runner for the Cubs.
He smoked the ball a couple of times yesterday, had the triple, then a line out to right field, a ball that he really crushed. This time just a little gap wedge.
So Pete on base streak now at 15 games. And he's hit safely in 14 of them. He is dancing off of first. Pop up for Bregman just above us here in the booth. Another pop-up. This one at home plate. Sullivan removes his mask and makes the catch. So now one out in the fourth. Michael Busch up. And it's been a struggle offensively for these Cubs, but Michael Busch, not a reason for it. 16-game on base streak. And JD, we talked about it a little bit. It doesn't seem like it's something as simple as pressing, because chase rate isn't astronomically high. Walk rate hasn't decreased. Pete's off. Throw down to second is way late.
Could have stole that base standing up. He's just going to take a little nap.
Yeah, just give me a second.
Stolen base number 15 for PCA. He's 15 out of 20 now in stolen bases. That first slide gets the job done, and this slide is brought to you by Wisconsin Dells and your getaway at wisdells.com. Carried a lot of speed into that base, and
they're going to take a look at him.
He's in some discomfort out there.
Take a look at the slide, especially with this upper body. We didn't get jammed up. And now we take a deep breath.
It looked like he was indicating his left arm there, but I don't know.
I'm not a professional lip reader, but I saw, "I'm good, I'm good."
Yeah, you see that left wrist kind of buckle and didn't really glide on that head first slide.
So PCA stays in the game.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? When a team that has had success, especially as much success as they had earlier in the season, goes into a prolonged funk like this, we're all looking for a narrative. I mean, why is it happening? Patrick Mooney had an article in The Athletic today talking about, is the clubhouse not loose enough? It's just all legitimate questions, but kind of unanswerable. Are they pressing? Probably. What does that look like?
We don't know.
We don't know for sure. I mean, again, it could go back to just thinking so much and just not pulling the trigger on pitches you can do damage on. That's kind of what it feels like lately. I've seen some takes on pitches and hitters counts where you kind of scratch your head a little bit and you think, well, the guy's just probably caught in between.
Bush line drive center field. Ball's in front of Cole Carrick. PCA to third. Didn't know if Carrick was going to make that catch. Michael Bush on base streak now at 17 games. It's first and third for the Cubs.
This time the breaking ball betrays him a little bit, leaves it up. Bushy puts a pretty good swing on it. He has to take a moment to make sure that ball is not going to be caught. It's one of those where, if there's 2 outs, he's not waiting on anything and he scores.
One ball, no strikes to Ian Happ. This is low and inside. Be a meeting at the mound. Now, Jim, we're talking about all these things for the Cubs. Yeah, obviously you want the offensive fortune to change, but how are you going to change that? I guess there's 2 roads. It's either you make wholesale changes and you really dive in, figure it out, and it's really difficult to do that in the middle of the season, or
there's no wholesale changes to be made, right? This is the group that's got to get it done.
That was the other one. Yeah.
I mean, you can tinker with the lineup. That's probably, eyewash. Probably doesn't matter much. Here's the breakdown. Through May 8th, they were 27-12, 5.51 runs per game. Best in Major League Baseball. Since then, it's been pretty dismal. That on-base percentage is 26th. Slugging percentage is last. I've been at this a long time, and I don't ever remember witnessing a season quite like this.
Still early, too.
Early-ish, right?
69th game of the season.
Still a lot of baseball to be played, but it's been a lot of bad, right? It's been a month worth of bad.
Happ takes a strike at the knees. They had 3 weeks of good. They were 20-3 in a 23-game stretch in a month of bad, 7-22 in a 29-game stretch. I mean, 2 polar opposites. Ball forward. And now a big spot for Seiya Suzuki.
A base hit by Michael Bush, the first hit in this series for the Cubs with a man in scoring position.
Seiya struck out 3 times last night. Struck out his first at-bat today. And now has the bases loaded with 1 out.
Trying to work out of the strike zone here, trying to take advantage of the Cubs hitters' anxiety. Happ wasn't going to have any of it. Ian more than willing to accept his walk. Let's see how he approaches Suzuki. We expect to see a lot of spin, breaking balls towards that outside part of the plate.
Seiya hammers it deep left, way back, bye-bye! Biggest swing of the year for Seiya Suzuki. 10th homer of the year, grand slam. That's huge. 4-1 Cubs.
Not bad for a pitcher. A long last, a big swing in a big situation. It comes with the bases loaded. A ton of Cub fans on hand here, and they're enjoying this moment. He is fired up.
Come on. I can't even imagine how good that felt for Seiya. Third career grand slam. And at a time where he was struggling, offense has been struggling. Yeah, but that one swing, Seiya said, "See ya." And Ryan Feltner, who went 9 up, 9 down, seems to have lost all and any momentum here in the fourth. Called strike. Payoff. Ground ball to first. Nice play by Rumfield. Underhands to first and gets Nico.
Take another look at this home run from Suzuki. This home run replay is brought to you by Toyota, official vehicle of the Chicago Cubs. It's a little spinner that just backs up, a cement mixer, belly button high, inside part of the plate. Suzuki delivers the long ball, and he is fired up. Feltner is not. Well, I guess he is fired up in a certain way, just disgusted with himself.
Just Gronk spikes the rosin bag. Line drive, base hit. Couple of hard hit balls today for Moises Ballesteros. This one ends up with a 2-out single.
Feltner, who was so sharp early on, now mistake prone and paying for it. And some of these breaking balls up.
Called strike. The 4-1 Cubs lead. Grand slam, Seiya Suzuki. In the dirt. Cubs here in the fourth inning, 4 runs on 4 hits. Wave and a miss. Hugs. Thank you. Runners off. Throw down to second. Moises Ballesteros. Swipe your bag.
Sneak attack.
Speed demon.
First time he's attempted to steal a bag at this level, and it's give him the base, give him second base. I'm not going to get a whole bunch of those.
Hold it up. Kelly Tapper with third, it just goes foul. Remember when Ricky Henderson stole that base at second, held it up, triumph?
I do, yeah.
I think Mo should have
set
done
the all-time stolen base record, right, or single season, whatever it was.
I think it was the all-time. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Cubs take the lead. Seiya Suzuki, grand slam. Let's go. He needed it. We needed it. 4-1 Cubs.
For over 10 years.
4-1 Cubs lead. It's courtesy of that guy right there. Seiya Suzuki, 10th homer of the year. A grand slam. Cabrera delivers. Swing and a miss. Now, JD, from a pitcher's perspective, you're Edward Cabrera. It's your second start since coming off the injured list. You're down 1-0. Now you're up 4-1. You're able to kind of let loose here and I won't say like let the big dog eat and let it rip. Do you think that that helps him, like mentality-wise?
I don't think it changes your approach. You're only in the 4th inning. You're at Coors Field, so it's a nice pad to have a 3-run lead, but it's not necessarily a comfortable situation. So you don't change your approach. You don't change your thought process. Now, if it's 9-1 in the 6th inning, maybe a little bit, but he's going to kind of stick to his game plan against these hitters that they brought into this game. He's not going to become super aggressive now that he's got this lead.
It's Hunter Goodman swinging.
Right little slider right there, dipping down below the knees.
Another strikeout for Cabrera. Line drive past the diving Nico and into right field.
If you think today was hard, try living one day in this man's life. Liam's had 5 heart surgeries. Let's go, Liam!
One of my best days ever.
So runner on first with 1 out. Cole Carrick up. Called strike, and that is dotted at 98.
Just keep doing that. You can make a lot of money if you can do that over and over again.
Call that 98 in paint. Carrick swings and misses.
Good changeup that time from Cabrera, so he follows up that 98 with a nasty changeup, and then he celebrates. Watch Edward here. Step off.
He does, throws to first. Now the throw to second, and it's in time. It gets Troy Johnston.
Just trying to anticipate first move. Cabrera holds the ball a little bit, and then they execute the 1-3-6 put out.
I think he heard you. Step off.
You see Johnson try to run into the path of the throwing lane there for Michael Busch.
Just misses. Be interesting to see what the Rockies do once they get their full slate of outfielders back. They have 2 on the injured list right now, Mickey Moniak and Bretton Doyle. Moniak expected back shortly. Doyle will be a more prolonged absence. But Cole Carrick seems to be factoring into that mix.
He certainly earned his promotion. He had huge numbers down at AAA. Obviously, Moniak's going to play when he comes back, and Doyle's a tremendous defender.
3-2. 8 in the air, deep right field. Seiya back at the wall, looks up. It's the first big league homer for Cole Carrick. So Carrick, solo shot. It cuts into the Rockies' deficit. It's now a 4-2 game.
Yeah, second home run for the Rockies here today. Edward gave up 3 in his last start, so nobody's immune from this home run virus that's going around the Cubs clubhouse. Big leg kick, big uppercut swing.
So the pickoff of Troy Johnston looms large for the Rockies. For the Cubs, that is home run number 101 allowed. Second today.
Ooh, be careful there. That was channeled, albeit at 99 miles per hour. And there's the home run leaderboard, if you want to think of it that way, which is allowed 101, most in MLB.
One-two. Wave and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 5 for Edward Cabrera allows a solo homer, but it's 4-2 Cubs.
Hey, these same Colorado Rockies, every single one, come to town Monday for a 3-game set. Tickets are still available at Cubs.com/tickets. In the interim, they will be off to Las Vegas to play the A's.
Yep, Rockies finish off the set here against the Cubs, to Vegas to face the Athletics, and then to Wrigley to face the Cubs. Cubs right now, game 9 of a 19-game stretch of playing sub-500 teams, and they haven't taken advantage of it. 2-6 so far against the Athletics, the Giants, and the Rockies. But an opportunity here.
Cubs, with that loss last night, find themselves back at 500, 34-34 entering play this afternoon.
500 for the first time since they were 9-9.
Dansby thought that pitch was a ball. Looked like a pretty good pitch.
Ball 4. Lead-off walk for Dansby Swanson. Turns over the lineup card and brings up Pete Crow Armstrong.
Now, Feltner seems to have lost his mojo. Man, he was really sharp through the first 3 innings. Quality, not just the results, but the quality of his pitches, the command of everything. And it all started with a little bloop single by PCA last inning, but started spraying the ball around. So pitching coach Alon Leishman out to the mound to have a chat. He's an interesting guy. He was born in Israel, grew up playing baseball over there before making his way to the States.
He was on Team Israel staff for the World Baseball Classic. Same with Cole Carrick. Pete Crow Armstrong, 15-game on-base streak, ties a career high. He had that single in the 4th inning. During that 15-game on-base streak, OPS over 1,100, times on base 29, 5 homers, and a .361 batting average. That'll work. Dansby's off. Taken up high, throw down to second. Another stolen base for the Cubs. That's their 3rd today.
Yeah, obviously they got to tell on Feltner. I mean, they're getting huge jumps. He tried to quicken his delivery there. Sullivan didn't get off a very good throw, but
Pete up the middle. Tovar Fields throws to first and just gets PCA by a step. So Dansby remains at second. Here's Alex Bregman. Look out.
Ooh, look out. It was the kind of a backup slider that Suzuki hit for the home run. Here again, he's trying to throw a breaking ball. It just squirts out of his hand.
Dansby dancing off second, and Ryan Feltner just half-hearted looks him back, a little pump fake. Called strike. One to Bregman. Takes it low. Cubs did not have a base runner through 3, 4 runs in the 4th. Here with the 5th, a runner at second, 1 out. Bregman down the third base side, it just goes foul.
Alex struck out back at the first inning after a pitch way up out of the zone. He's always been a good high fastball hitter, but that one 97, and I wondered if it's the highest pitch he's ever swung and missed at, and indeed it is not. It's the third highest of this season. See, they can look everything up these days. Another one that got away. That time it looked like a changeup. There is action in the Rockies' pen.
Ball 4.
Not even close.
Walk number 3 for Feltner.
And he is done.
Very quick motion to the bullpen. Waiting for Feltner to get the ball taken away from him. He does. Pitching change is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. 2 on, 1 out for the Cubs in the 5th. Back here at Coors Field, isn't that the best life? Best baseball bite, a pretzel with some cheese with a side of laundry.
A little Cindy Lou Who vibe going there. That pretzel's basically a spoon. She wants no part of the pretzel. She's just using it to scoop the cheese.
Pretty much. Blas Costano, the new pitcher for the Rockies.
Yeah, our first look at him in this series. The Rockies bullpen has performed very well first two nights.
First pitch ball.
Similar to Ethan Roberts in stature, not a big guy at all. 5'10", $160.
Sinker, sweeper, cutter, changeup, 4-seam is mix. Last appearance came against the Brewers back on June 6th. 2 2/3, scoreless. Walked 2, gave up 3 hits. Bush to right field. It's a base hit. Swanson rounds third. Here comes the throw home. It's cut off and Swanson's safe. Another hit with runners in scoring position for the Cubs. Michael Bush, RBI single. It's 5-2.
Castano greeted rudely by Michael Bush. Bregman able to make his way to third base. Watch Dansby flying around third, head first slide, and home plate umpire has to take evasive action.
That's what you call the slip and slide. So walk, RBI single here in the 5th. Not in order, but gives the Cubs a run. Pop up by Happ. Left field. Should be deep enough to score a run. Thompson back, makes the catch. Bregman tags up. Throw to second. Bregman touches home. A sac fly for Ian Happ. And the Cubs add to their lead. It's a 6-2 game in the 5th. Seiya Suzuki had his biggest hit of the season, his last at bat.
About time they checked on a runner over there. Cubs have been running freely here this afternoon. Hey, how far did it fly? It's brought to you by American Airlines. And of course, we're referencing the grand slam hit by Seiya Suzuki last time he was up there. Don't throw me that cement mixer, he said. 400 feet. Very excited, Seiya. Score your next flight at AA.com. Good pass at that one, too. Not feeling for it here, just letting it fly.
This is away. (6-2) Cubs lead. Scored 5 runs combined the first 2 games this series, and now 6 runs. You're in 5 innings and change. I guess technically 4 innings and change.
Michael Busch will be off with the pitch.
Pop up foul ball. Just in front of us.
Where on earth is that ball?
Pitcher's called the ball. Catcher's challenging.
This is the 3rd time Sullivan has challenged here today. He's 1-1. Now he's 2 out of 3.
All right, so it ends the top of the 5th. Cubs tack on 2 more runs. One of them on this Michael Busch RBI single. 6-2 Cubs lead.
We are professional grade.
Bottom 5 here at Coors Field. 6-2 Cubs lead. Middle inning surge for the Cubs. 4 runs in the 4th, 2 runs in the 5th. First pitch by Cabrera is inside. A nice note for Michael Busch. His RBI single in the 5th, RBI number 200 in the career of Michael Busch.
Cabrera just basically playing a game with Tovar of, well, you like to swing. Will you swing at this one?
He does, and it's right to Alex Bregman. So 1 away.
Elevate your next outing on the Eero Suite level. All-inclusive private suites start at 8 guests for select games. For details, visit Cubs.com/premier.
So 1 up, 1 down for Cabrera. Looking for some redemption against Brett Sullivan.
See where Edward Julian, the on-deck hitter, is? That would annoy me if I was pitching.
Do they have an on-deck circle? I don't see them.
They don't. But, I would tell the umpire, hey,
come on,
move him over. Getting a good look tracking my pitches. That's what the iPad is for.
Two one.
The game years ago, I think Joe West was working the plate. Adrian Beltre of the Rangers. Joe kept trying to get him to get in the on-deck circle, so he just picked up the on-deck circle and slid it.
Brett Sullivan is 2 for 2 against Edward Cabrera and 3 for 3 this series.
Ultimately, Joe West kicked Beltre out of that game.
He had a propensity for doing that.
Hey, there's no on-deck circle at all. Come on. Let's go. Do you realize they're missing a sponsorship opportunity?
Now they realize. One up. Edward Cabrera, 5 strikeouts. Talked about his increase of velocity in his last start. He's topped out at 98.7 today. A conversation with Carson Kelly. Cabrera with 8 fastballs, 98 miles per hour or better today.
Kelly not happy the way Cabrera started that bat. Go out there to shake him up a little bit. Let's go, man. Get after it.
Called strike, 98 dotted once again.
Little positive feedback with the mitt. That's what I'm talking about. Trust that 98 on the outside corner, big fella.
He did. Must be nice to have that in your back pocket.
Well, you know, he's not a command guy. Normally he's not just looking to pick corners, but he has great velocity, pretty good movement. If he could command that pitch down and away with some regularity, that's really going to help.
Line drive to center. Easier catch for Pete. 2 outs.
He's made pretty good contact here today. Nothing for 3.
Here's Willie Castro. Castro 1 for 2. Hear that?
Something fell from up above.
Yeah, it was
some peanuts or something.
I actually thought it was bird excrement. That would have been fun.
Might have been a squirrel.
That's an option too. Cabrera 1 out away from being the pitcher of record today.
Some squirrels and birds out there hanging in the trees.
That's in center field. You also have a bunch of trees and plants in the bullpen. Called strike. Cabrera had 73 pitches. He threw 60 to be 80 in the start against the Giants.
It's a nice backdrop, you know, for a batter's eye to Plant those evergreens out there. You know, if you kind of have to soften the landscape a little bit. You know, it can't be all bricks and mortar.
No, who needs the Colorado Botanical Gardens when you could just come to Coors Field?
What's going on with Cabrera? Something getting after him out there, a bee or a wasp or something?
Maybe some technology. Yes, there. (6-2) Cubs lead, bottom 5. Cubs are down 1-0. 4-run lead right now. Grounder to first. Nice play. Michael Busch slides, fires to first. Athletic play, Edward Cabrera, and it gets Castro. Nice defense all around. Cabrera gets held up by Castro. Nice play, Bushy. 6-2, Cubs lead. On to the 6th.
Is, and so is this guy, Nico Horner, saying, thank you, needed that hit. You know, I bring this up because that moment really stuck out to me, because before the game, Craig Counsell was specifically asked about Horner. He's been hitting the ground on the ball a lot, or hitting the ball on the ground a lot. I'll get through this. And he said, yeah, I mean, look, JD, Boog, you guys have talked about this all the time, that there is no slug on the ground. Now, it's not necessarily that Nico's going to lead the charge in that category, but when this is a team that walks a lot, Craig's saying that, you know, then when you got guys on like they've had, then you need that slug. You need those big hits. So for me, it was just a moment that kind of brought all that together. We see guys continuously working through things at the plate. You've been waiting for that big hit, the slug, all of that kind of encapsulated in that inning.
It's a big swing. Grand Slamsky, I like it.
Yeah, we had a graphic on Nico yesterday, his expected batting average versus what his actual batting average is. So, the quality of the contact's been pretty good. Continues to not strike out. If you can continue to not do something. I'm going to go ahead and say it. He hasn't struck out in a good long while, even though he's got 2 strikes. Don't let me down, Nico.
I love you tempting fate here.
Just the facts, ma'am.
Like it.
57 at bats since his last strikeout.
Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nico 0 for 2 today.
Stano, man, he just looks like a kid out there. That baby face.
Hit to third. Castro backhand sidearm throw. It's not in time. Nice effort by Willie Castro, but Nico Horner legs out a leadoff infield single in the 6th.
A spectacular play by Castro, but it's a knock for Nico. Watch this, man. Watch this throw. Slings that essentially underhand almost. Nico busting it down the line, gets himself a knock. Last time he punched out May 27th in Pittsburgh.
Take that, broadcaster jinx. Called strike. Yeah, Castro threw that by like his shoe tops.
Yeah. Impressive play. He's had starts now at left field, second base, and third base in this series. He doesn't know that it's a foul ball. He's running around. Oh, wait a minute. It wasn't a foul ball. I don't know. The home plate umpire took his mask off like it was a dead ball situation. We're going to have to at least talk about this, if not take another look. Council's like, what is going on here, fellas? Can't tell him. Did it graze that front leg? Kicks off the guard. It's a foul ball.
Had a fair amount of confusion this game with the infield fly and this and
let's do a crew chief review. Take a look. Send it back to New York. Take a look at it. The base umpires, if they don't see anything different, they can't change the call, but they can certainly ask for a review. Counsel cannot. Fair foul at home plate on the infield is not a challengeable call. They need to look at this.
And the Cubs dugout right now is animated.
He's going to get run.
It's a bad call.
I don't know why they don't send it back to New York. Louis Krupa is a home plate umpire. He's kind of in the hot seat here. I haven't seen much of Louis. I don't know if he's a full-time umpire, if he's a replacement and a vacation guy.
I mean, it's so very clearly the incorrect call. So this is fun.
I'm not sure when the umpires can review it. Yeah, Craig's going to get a piece of the young guy.
See it. Craig saying that's 2 outs in the game right there. He's right. So Craig Counsell gets ejected.
Turns into a double play.
Yep. Man. So second time Craig Counsell's been ejected this year.
Krupa's the home plate umpire, Louis Krupa. He's a rookie. He's in his debut this year. I mean, you have to call what you see, and the base umpires couldn't provide any support. They didn't see it. Even if they go, yeah, he might have hit him, but I didn't see it. And I'm guessing that's not something they could use a crew chief review on. Otherwise, I believe they would have.
Jam shot to first, Rumfield to first, and the third out here in the sixth.
On Sunday, June 21st, Cubs, Blue Jays, first pitch, 1:20. First 5,000 early arriving fans in the Budweiser bleachers will take home a Father's Day tea presented by Advocate Healthcare. Be sure to arrive early. 1, 2, 3 exclamation points at the end of that read, folks.
Should emphasize it.
Ryan Flaherty takes over as the acting manager. Doing the managerial pace. A job that many feel like he will ultimately do at the big league level.
Very highly regarded. He's already got the manager's pose. You're just joining us. Cubs leading 6-2. Manager Craig Counsell ejected for the second time this season.
The other lesson with that play, of course, just go ahead and run. Right? Ball on the ground. Nico took his cues from Ballesteros, but in hindsight, just run and then appeal your case.
So Rumfield walks to lead off the sixth. We'll bring up Hunter Goodman. Well, JD, what's the better way to get the call that you desire? If you run down, then
right. That's the tough one, because the hitter's trying to sell the fact that the ball hit him.
But it did hit him.
Correct, but what I'm saying,
I know.
In hindsight, had he ran, there might not have been a double play.
Correct. Backliner to second. Nico makes the catch, fires to first, not in time.
Yeah, so Ballesteros, he's trying to sell the fact that the ball hit him, so he's not taking off. I feel like everybody thought it was a foul ball. The pitcher, watch, he's the only one that's really engaged, thinking I had a chance to make a play here.
So Edward Cabrera out after 5 1/3 innings. Line is not complete with a runner at first. Pitching change is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. Hobie Milner coming into the bottom of the sixth.
Motion for life.
Chicago Cubs baseball, Marquee Sports Network, is brought to you by Toyota, official vehicle of the Chicago Cubs. By Prevagen, made for the brain. And by Wintrust, different approach, better results. All right, so Edward Cabrera out, Hobie Milner in, and it's the first pitching change for the Cubs here today in the sixth.
Hobie's 31st appearance, 29 innings, a 4.03 ERA. ERA took a bit of a beating in that outing on the homestand against the Giants. But outside of that one, he's been rock solid.
They bring in Hobie Milner to face Troy Johnston. Had some difficult at-bats against Shota Imanaga, a lefty yesterday. The Rockets at the left center field. Ian Happ into the gap. He can't get it. Goes all the way to the wall. Pete picks it up, fires it in quickly, and it holds the runner at third. Johnson to second with a double.
Yeah, Johnson, who's really struggled against left-handed pitching this year. No problems here against that tough angle. Able to fight and keep that front side in and shoot this ball into the gap in left center. Really well played out here by PCA, so no opportunity to score that lead base runner.
Now Cole Carrick up. Switch hitter. Homered from the left side in his last at bat.
The Cubs brought a lefty in to face him yesterday, so they prefer to have him on this side.
Ground ball, third base side, fair ball. Bregman tried to get the runner at third, and Carrick to first. Everybody's safe.
Tough play here for Bregman with Carrick's speed. That's going to be a really difficult play at first base, and once the base runner on third gets Alex's attention, kind of becomes what he felt was his best option. He's not going to throw out Carrick from there.
He was halfway to the tarp.
Winfield got a little lucky there, actually drifted a little too far from the base.
Now, bases loaded, 1 out. Potential game-tying run at the plate. And it'll be Kyle Karros.
Take another look at that last ground ball fielded by Bregman. That's a good look at it here. Outstanding speed going down the line. I guess he might have had a shot at him.
Well, he took a turn towards first like he was going for extra bases. 0-0.
This long, bleak stretch for the Cubs, the bullpen has performed pretty well.
Arrow swings and misses.
Occasional hiccup for sure, but for the most part they've been solid. Game got away from them last night.
The bullpen this year as a group, 3.57 ERA. That's 5th in the big leagues. Called strike. From 2-0 to 2-2. Milner delivers. And a big 3-2 pitch coming up. Milner fires. Looper, shallow right. Suzuki in, makes the catch. Runners stay where they are, and that's a big second out.
Milner has faced 3, so he can now come out of the game, and Ryan Flaherty's going to make the change.
The right-hander Ezekiel Tovar waiting in the on-deck circle.
Nice jump here by Suzuki, had a decent amount of ground to cover.
So Milner out. Pitching change is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th.
What if? Here we go!
Loaded, 2 outs, bottom 6. Cubs up 6-2. Rockies threatening, and here's Phil Maton, 25th appearance.
Slowly but surely starting to chip away at that inflated ERA. Some real rough outings early. Of late it's been better. 2/3 scoreless last night. He did allow a couple of hits but no runs.
Tovar swings and misses.
That's where he's vulnerable to the high fastball, and then you get him to chase out of the zone down late in the count.
Went up in the zone there. He's got 2 high heaters on Tovar. Do you spin one here?
If I do, I'd make sure it's off the plate.
From the spin doctor.
I might just go right back up top, not wanting to risk a pitch in the dirt. But I think, yeah, he's a breaking ball off that outside edge and then way up. There's Edward Cabrera.
Oh-2 from Maton. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikes out Ezekiel Tovar on 3 pitches. Nice work, Phil Maton. See ya. Cubs fans, download the Marquee app so you don't miss a moment of the action this season. Stream live games and shows anytime and anywhere. Scan the QR code now to download the Marquee app, presented by our friends at Miller Lite. What a day here in Denver. Mid-afternoon, Cubs leading 6-2. And here in the top of the 7th, Dansby Swanson leads things off. Called strike. JD final line on Edward Cabrera. 5 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 5 Ks, 2 walks. In line for the victory.
Yeah, nice bounce back after that rough one last time against the Giants. Just need to get him out there every 5th or 6th day, get him into a little bit of a flow again.
He's in line for his first victory. It would be since April 28th. Dansby today, walk, stolen base, runs scored. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. More off speed to Dansby.
Yeah, just committed to the fastball, and they keep spinning it to him. And going to have to make an adjustment.
Pete a single, stolen base, and a run scored. Game of the 4th. It's a nasty pitch. Six-2, Cubs lead. They got a grand slam from Seiya Suzuki in the 4th. Swing and a miss.
89-mile-an-hour changeup, and then beats him with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. He uses his timeout to sort it all out.
Takes the change low and outside. Pete, the reigning NL Player of the Week. Triple yesterday. The quality of at bat for Pete Crow Armstrong just continue to improve. From 1-2 to 3-2. Ground ball sharply hit past the diving Julian at second. A multi-hit game for Pete. He heads to second. He slides in safely. Speed kills. 1-out double. Pete Crow Armstrong.
Say it all the time here at Coors Field. There's so much grass, so much ground to cover in the outfield. There's extra bases to be had. And Pete earned that one out of the box. Great base running, great hustle. A hustle double for PCA, and it's brought to you by Elgin Hyundai, home of the 20-year and 200,000-mile warranty on every new car.
So 1-out double for Pete. Opportunity for Alex Bregman, takes a strike. 0 for 2 with a walk today.
Cubs have both their challenges, and get to this stage of the game. You're in the 7th inning now, and you want to be a little bit more aggressive using those challenges.
Take it up and away to Bregman. One-two. Bregman deep to left field. It is back and it's to the seats. Bye-bye, Alex Bregman. 2-run shot, 6th of the year. And as he trots around the bases, much deserved. 8-2, Cubs lead.
This home run is brought to you by Hefty strength you can trust. He waits back on that breaking ball, sticks his nose on it, and drives it out of here. Home run number 6 for Alex. And that's where his strength lies. Pull power is what he does when he's right.
Hard ground ball to second. Loved by Julian. To first, and it gets Michael Busch. You know who kind of called the Alex Bregman home run? It was Elise Menaker. Elise talked to Alex yesterday, and call you not Nostradamus. You got it right.
Well, I'm just listening to what he's telling me. I mean, he's so in tune with his game. I mentioned the mechanics yesterday. He really felt like the load was getting in a better spot. And so I think because he knows himself so well, whether he was hitting it or not at times, he just knew he was in a better spot. So now that it's getting cooking, let's see what happens moving forward.
Bregman, a 2-run shot. It's that off the glove of Tovar, and it's into center field. Kind of caught Tovar in between. And now Happ, a 2-out base runner here for the Cubs.
Tovar having a tough day. Struck out with the bases loaded. Now can't handle this one. A sinking line drive indeed. He does get caught in between. Clips his throwing hand. They're going to give Ian a base hit on that.
Cubs, after no runs, no hits, no base runners through 3 innings. We're in the 7th. They have 8 runs on 8 hits. 2 homers, and one of them from guy standing in the box on the right side. A grand slam in the 4th turned a 1-0 deficit into a 4-1 lead. And here in this game, JD, Cubs have hit 2 homers. Rockies have hit 2 homers. The main difference, Rockies 2 solo shots. And the Cubs have 6 runs that have been accounted for the 2 homers. Runners off. No throw to second, and Ian steals a base. It's the 4th stolen base for the Cubs today.
Yeah, a running lead that time. The previous stolen bases came when the starter Feltner was out there. I thought they had a tell on him. But, Castano never checked Ian over there at first base, so more than happy to take that bag.
Ground ball to short. Tovar fires to first, gets Seiya, and it ends the top of the 7th. Alex Bregman, big swing. 2-run homer into the seats in left, his 6th of the year. It's 8-2 Cubs.
866 for Feldco.
A look at Alex Bregman. At the top of the inning, his 6th homer of the season, 2-run shot, gives the Cubs an 8-2 lead. Cubs trying to avoid getting swept here. Phil Maton's 2nd inning of work. And Ian Happ slides and makes the catch. Cubs defense once again has been on point today.
PCA's made a couple real nice plays. Now Ian Happ takes his turn on a sinking line drive.
Ground ball shoots through the left side, and Edward Julian, his first hit of the game.
Hey folks, lock in your tickets to watch Cubs baseball from the all-inclusive, one-of-a-kind atmosphere of the Wrigley Rooftops. Secure your spot today at WrigleyRooftops.com.
JD, you've obviously broadcasted a lot of games. When you do have those off days, have you ever gone to a game at Wrigley Field in the Rooftops?
I have not.
We got to get you up there.
Good.
Right side fouling out of play.
I remember many years ago when I was broadcasting for the Astros, we were going to do like a feature on the rooftops.
Yeah.
And we just kind of cold called. We went knocking on the door and went over outside of right field because we thought that these were all just kind of organic. You know, you live in the building, you bring your lounge chair up, you have a beer and a dog, and you watch the game.
Yeah.
On the door, it was like the such and such a club of Chicago. It was like a club that owned the rooftop.
So you couldn't just go in?
Yeah, well, I mean, we had a nice chat with the guy, but it
fizzled out after that.
Yeah, it wasn't really a story after that.
Weak pop-up, shallow center. Dansby back, makes the catch.
Happy anniversary, Phil. Big league debut on this date in 2017 with the Pods.
9 years ago. And a good outing today for Phil. Got that big out with the bases loaded in the 6th. And Phil Maton comes out with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Pitching change, 8-2 Cubs lead.
It's the bottom of the 7th. The Cubs are up 8-2, and Ryan Rollison is on the mound. I talked to him because this is a place where he pitched last year with the Rockies. And so when I brought it up, he goes, yeah, I had this series circled on the calendar. And he's saying there's no bad blood. He's got good friends over on the other side, and he was really thankful for the opportunity to pitch here. But it's more just about how he's a different person, a different pitcher now with the Cubs. You know, he's always been so grateful for this opportunity with the Cubs. He feels like it's a really good fit. More than anything, he feels like what has changed from last year to this year, confidence. You know, he said last year never really found his footing. He was kind of an up and down guy, you know, going up and down from AAA, but just the amount of confidence that the Cubs have pumped through him, saying, okay, we like what you do. We're going to hone in on that, and just honing in on his skills and giving him the confidence basically that he is good enough, right, to pitch, which sometimes is all you need, just that belief, and then you have that conviction behind your pitches. So it's not lost on Rollison that he's pitching where he played last year and kind of taking advantage of the moment.
Well, of course, Phil's a tough place for any young pitcher to break in and settle, and it did not go well for him here. But the stuff is certainly good enough. And success breeds confidence, right? So he's gotten an opportunity here, and he's taking full advantage of it.
Rollison with Colorado in his debut year in 2025. 1-0 with a 7.02 ERA. Been much better than that this season. 1-2 to Rumfield. Swing and a miss, strike 3, 97. Ryan Rollison pumped up with that heater, and it ends the bottom of the 7th inning. Cubs fans, Lance Brostowski and I just dropped a brand new episode of Cubs Now. Watch it on YouTube, the Marquee app, or listen wherever you can get your podcast.
What did you guys talk about?
We were brutally honest. Just leave it at that. Well, at least during the first segment. New pitcher, Sammy Peralta.
First look at the left-hander. There's his line from his one major league appearance this year, May 19th against the Rangers. He's just been recalled from AAA. His previous big league time with the Angels and the White Sox.
One ball, one strike. Ripped by Nico right at Kyle Karros.
They call it the hot corner, folks.
You're talking about the expected batting average and low BABIP for Nico Hoerner, and that will likely just add to it. The pinch hitter. It's Matt Shaw. Pinch hits for Moises Ballesteros. Shaw takes a strike. It was a fun game for Moises Ballesteros. Not only a single, but his first stolen base of the season. Hit in the air, left side. And a curl foul into the seats to the third deck. Shaw activated from the injured list on Tuesday. Swing and a miss, strike 3. JD probably tough for Shaw. He was getting sporadic at bats before being placed on the injured list, and goes down to Iowa. Plays a handful of games every day, then comes back here and tries to
Yeah,
into that rhythm again.
It's a tough spot. And see going forward how many at-bats he gets, what kind of playing time he's able to get at the Cubs. I mean, they're having a nice day offensively. If they continue to struggle, he may find himself getting a little more playing time. And the Cubs were going well early in the year, and Craig Counsell was asked about Matt Shaw and his playing time. It was like, yeah, I get it. I understand that, but my job is not to get Matt Shaw at bats. My job is to win games, and as long as these guys are performing well, it's going to be tough to get Matt a lot of at bats. Now that the narrative has changed a little bit, there may be more opportunities coming his way,
especially with left-handed pitchers throwing. Kelly deep to left field. Thompson at the track, the wall, but by Carson Kelly. The homer drought for Carson Kelly ends. Third homer of the day for the Cubs, third homer of the season for Carson Kelly. 9-2 Cubs lead here in the 8th.
And this is kind of the performance we were anticipating we might get out of the Cubs coming to Colorado. Did not show up the first 2 days, but they're unloading here this afternoon. Insurance runs are brought to you by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and People's Strategy partner. Yeah, it had been a good long while since Carson was able to take that leisurely jog around the bases.
For Kelly, it was his first home run since April 18th. (9-2) Cubs. Getting led since the 4th. Swanson swings and misses. And that's the most runs in a game for the Cubs since May 27th, where they beat the Pirates 10-4 at PNC Park. It's a called third strike. Dansby down on strikes. Carson Kelly with a solo homer. 9-2 Cubs lead. Bottom 8, 9-2 Cubs lead here at Coors Field, and welcome to the broadcast. Brought to you by Budweiser. Cubs fans for 150 years. This Bud's for you. Alex Cohen, Jim Deshaies here. You're in the broadcast with Cubs lead 9-2.
Yeah, wins have been hard to come by for the Cubs for a good while now, and I feel like when they do win, it's been like a walk-off or high drama, and finally a game where you feel pretty comfortable heading into the last couple innings. A 9-2 lead. Craig Counsell got ejected earlier today. The Cubs are 0 for 9 to start this game, and you can imagine everybody watching. We're like, oh, here we go again. Since then, they're 10 out of 22. It's like somebody flipped a switch. Feltner, their starter, was really good early on. Then he started to make some mistakes, and the Cubs took advantage of those mistakes, and that's the name of the game. If a pitcher's locked in, you're not going to do much against them, but once they start to make some mistakes, fall behind in counts, spinning some breaking balls out over the heart of the plate, you should do damage on those pitches, and that's what the Cubs have done here today.
Yeah, they've hit 3 home runs. Ian Happ said, there was going to come a time where this offense breaks out, and at least for one game, they've broken out.
Right, and that's a great point. You don't want to make too much of it. It's one game. We've fallen into that trap before with this club where they have a big dramatic win, and okay, here we go. Here's the game that is going to turn things around. I think we're going to have to see more performances like this one before we completely buy in, but it's a nice day at the ballpark with the boys in gray out there today.
Carson Kelly just got nicked on that foul ball. The walk-off wins are always fun, but I think we've said this in previous broadcasts. You just needed a game like this. It wasn't necessarily wire to wire because the Cubs were trailing 1-0 in the 4th inning, but to be up 9-2 late in the game, and obviously the game is not finished yet. We've seen crazy things happen, but at least for for 7.5 innings. It's been positive. And Ryan Rollison's been positive as well. Strikes out Hunter Goodman.
They got Rumfield in the 7th with a 97-mile-an-hour heater. Here he comes with a breaking pitch. Get Goodman, so they held him in check today. 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts.
JD, you were asking what we were talking about on Cubs Now. It wasn't this episode, but it was last episode, and one of the topics was, is Ryan Rollison a dude? Is he a fixture in this bullpen? And so far this season, aside from really one outing against the White Sox on the south side, he's been pretty good.
Yeah, I know the manager believes in him. I talked to Craig Counsell about him, and Counsell's really impressed with his stuff and the way he goes about it.
A 1.
Well, the expectation, right? His first-round draft pick out of Ole Miss back in 2018 by the Rockies, so no doubt they had high expectations for him.
There's a look at Rollison. He was a 22nd overall pick in 2018. Line drive to second, hits off Nico Horner's glove, picks it up, and Troy Johnson will beat it out.
Ball struck pretty well here by Johnson, and Nico just gets beat by that short hop.
All right, for more on Ryan Rollison, let's send it down to Elise Medeker.
You know, I mentioned part of what the Cubs did is they said, like, hey, we think you do this really well, and that being spin. And so he said the way that they taught him the sweeper, being able to add that to his arsenal weapon against lefties, the velo ticking up, because he said as he's gotten healthier and farther away from surgery, that everything just seems to be clicking with the Cubs. Whenever you ask him about pitching here and why it's going so well, he just seems very happy and comfortable with these coaches and this team.
Yeah, he's pretty happy. You could sense in him just walking around in the clubhouse, on the mound, just his presence. Somebody who was happy that the second phase of his career is with this team. Just misses, and we'll have a challenge.
Pitcher's called the ball. Catcher's challenging.
Carson, a little shrug of the shoulders as if to say, we've got him, we might as well use him.
Call's confirmed. Pitcher's the ball. Chicago has
Will,
one
however,
challenge.
impact his outstanding challenge percentage.
You know, you're going to call that selfless. Doesn't care about the percentages.
Worth a shot, basically, is what he's saying.
What a guy. Foul ball. I got a fun fact about Ryan Rollison, drafted in the first round 2018. He was the first Ole Miss pitcher drafted in the first round in 8 years. Do you know who that pitcher who was drafted in the first round in 2010 was? Out of Ole Miss. By the Rockies. Excuse me, by the Indians. But he played for the Rockies. Former Cub. Really, really good last year.
You're throwing a lot of info.
I know. Well to left. Ian Happ makes the catch. And the answer to the question is yes. Drew Pomerantz.
He was really good last year.
I really did throw a lot at you. I apologize for that.
Well, no, it was just those were good hints, but
I didn't give you enough time
trying to process the various hints.
I was just so excited to give the answer. It's like, look, I found a fun fact. So Ryan Rollison, his outing is finished. We have a pitching change. 9-2, Cubs lead, bottom 8.
Sweet home of the Chicago Cubs.
Hey, Cub fans, Aviator Nation just landed at Ivy Shop. California Cool meets Cubs Pride in this limited collection of vintage washed fleece with that signature rainbow stripe. Each piece is handcrafted, single needle stitched and broken in So it feels like a favorite from day one. Oh, man, you can't beat it. Find it at ivyshop.com or the Cup store at Gallagher Way. It's like wearing your pajamas.
New pitcher for the Cubs, it is Tyler Ferguson, making his Chicago Cubs debut.
I love that single needle stitching, though. It's really, really important. Yeah, Tyler's been up a couple times, but this is the first game action the former Athletic has seen. He was a teammate, a good buddy of Dansby over there at Vanderbilt back in the day.
6-rounder, 2015 out of Vanderbilt by the Rangers. Popped up out of play. His best season came in Oakland in 2024. That's the last year that they were in Oakland, the Athletics. He was 4-2 with a 3.68 ERA and 48 appearances, 62 strikeouts, and 51 in the third innings. The artist formerly known as the Oakland Athletics. Pop up right side. Nico. The infield dirt makes the catch, and Ferguson gets the final out in the bottom of the 8th. 9-2 Cubs. Top 9 at Coors Field. 9-2 Cubs lead. Much needed game to this point for the Chicago Cubs. PCA takes a strike. And while the Cubs offense has struggled for the better part of the month, Picro Armstrong just keeps on hitting. 2 for 4 today. It's been active. Single, double, 2 runs scored, and a stolen base. And JD for PCA, the on-base streak now at 15 games.
Yeah, and he made the defensive play of the game out in center field, too. A spectacular diving catch. So he's checked a lot of boxes here today. Hustle double last time was really impressive. Off the bat, it looked like a routine single. Just right out of the get-go, right out of the box, was thinking 2.
One-two delivery. Grounder to first. Rumfield to first. 1 out. All right, game summary time, and it's brought to you by Wintrust. Cubs struggled to start the game. No runs, no hits, no base runners for the first 3 innings. How about innings 4 through 8? 9 runs, 10 for 23 at the plate. 3 walks, 20 total bases. First time with 3 homers in a game since April 25th. Speaking of 3 home runs, here they are. Seiya Suzuki, Alex Bregman, Carson Kelly, all to the same general spot.
Kelly wins the tail of the tape, 428 feet, and maybe the most significant. Certainly Suzuki's the most significant in terms of this game. But going forward, just to see Bregman touch one like that, very encouraging.
Pops out there. Bregman this series has been on base 6 times. 3 games. So at least somewhat encouraging. Michael Busch today, pair of hits, including RBI number 200 of his career. RBI single in the 5th. Oh boy. Busch gets hit.
He's shaking that left hand. Let's see. That shot there looked like the top of the right hand got it. And that's the left.
.88 on the hand. So Pete Crow Armstrong get checked out by the training staff on a slide to second. He stayed in the game.
It's Neil Ramp out there, one of the fine trainers of the Cubs.
And now Bush will stay in the game.
I think Neil applied some sunscreen this afternoon. Yeah, gets the top hand on the way by Bushy. Tougher than a $2 steak. He's not going to leave the game.
Here's Ian Happ. Few shot down the first base line, and it just goes foul. (9-2) Cubs lead. 3 homers. Solo shot Carson Kelly, 2-run home run Alex Bregman, and a grand slam by Seiya Suzuki. One. JD, coming into the game, the Rockies were 14-19 at home. At this point last season, they were just 6-27 at home.
Yeah, it was a miserable year for the Rockies last year. Cost Bud Black his job. There's Warren Schaefer who took over. They've lost 100 games 3 consecutive seasons. If they lose 100 this year, and they're on pace to do that, it would be one of, I believe, 5, possibly 6 clubs all time to lose 100 games or more 4 years in a row. Four consecutive last place finishes, and in those 4 seasons, on average, they have finished 43 games out of first place.
Man.
Now, when you're in the division with the Dodgers winning 100 games a year, that's obviously part of it.
They've never won an NL West division title. 5 playoff appearances, all from the wild card. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Happ down on strikes. Rockies down to their final 3 outs. So go to the bottom of the 9th. So last chance for the Rockies here against Tyler Ferguson. Line drive, foul ball right side. Jim, we were talking about it yesterday during the pregame show with Cole Wright and Ryan Sweeney, potential Cubs All-Stars. You were breaking down Ben Brown's case. I was breaking down Pete Crow Armstrong's case. For Ben Brown, is it something you just need to see a couple more starts so he could be among qualified pitchers? Or?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's so many outstanding pitching performances going on in the National League. I would say Ben's on the outside right now, but yeah, if he continues to throw the ball the way he is, people are going to start to pay attention. The other thing about it is, there's always pitchers that end up not being available to pitch in the All-Star game, so that might help his cause as well.
Because they throw on that Sunday before, or maybe the game starter for the game out of the All-Star break. It's a line foul right side. Ben Brown so far this season, 2-2 with a 1.74 ERA. He's only made 6 starts. With 57 innings pitched, he's allowed just 1 homer with 58 Ks and a .877 whip. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 96 up and in, and Ferguson strikes out Tovar.
It's a hat trick for Tovar here today. 3 punch outs and a ground ball to third. Ferguson, I don't know how long Tyler's going to be here with the Cubs. Trent Thornton on the paternity leave right now. Tyler just trying to make an impression.
Strike, I'll tell you what, he's tough to miss. 6'5", 225. Built like a pro-style quarterback. Sullivan deep down the right field line, and that is above the yellow line. Bounces back onto the field of play. He will trot around the bases. It's a home run. A multi-home run game for Brett Sullivan. Pair of solo shots. It's the third homer of the game for the Rockies, but the Cubs lead 9-3.
Came into this game having hit one home run, and now he goes deep twice this afternoon. The slimmest of margins this time.
Pitch is called a strike. Batter's challenging. Calls confirmed.
Calls confirmed.
Colorado's out of challenges.
JD, a little ironic. I am used to calling Brett Sullivan home runs. You know why?
Why?
He was on one of my minor league teams.
Is that right?
2016 when he was with the Rays, single A, Bowling Green Hot Rods. He was a Midwest League All-Star. Hit a lot of home runs just like that.
And at the time, did you think that he would ultimately be a big leaguer? Did he have that?
So he was half the time a second baseman, half the time a catcher. He was a prodigious hitter coming out of Pacific. I thought he would make the big leagues. I didn't think 10 years later, which was 2016, now 2026, that he would be at this point, which is a testament to him.
That's a good skill set to have, though, to be able to play the infield and catch.
It's a called third strike. Edward Julian less than enthused.
Sullivan had a big pinch hit in the game for the Rockies in the ninth last night, and this time clears the barrier by about a foot.
Ground ball right side, and Willie Castro extends the game. A single. Remember, fans, after today's game, make sure you tune into Cubs post-game live. Cole Wright and Ryan Sweeney. Cubs, fortunately, give them a lot more to talk about this afternoon.
Yeah, I feel good for those guys. It's been tough to break these games down the way it's been going.
Well, Ryan Sweeney had an apt description of yesterday's game. They broke into the post-game show. It was good, and then it was bad.
Yeah, it was happy, then it was sad, then it was happy.
It was pretty fitting with how yesterday's game went. Rockies down to their final out. DJ Rumfield. On one pitch.
It'd be kind of fun for Dansby out there playing behind his old college teammate. Good buddy from Vandy. Conjures up some great memories.
Hard hit right center. It splits the gap. Another hit for the Rockies. Pete slides and picks it up. He fires it into second, and the runner holds at third. That's a great defensive play by Pete.
Yeah, it's a run-saving play by Pete right there. We'll see if they're able to keep him off the board with 2 outs in the ninth. But if he doesn't cut this ball off, it's going to go to the wall, and the Rockies are going to score a run. A lot of room to roam out there, and that suits PCA.
Tell you what, he's really getting his steps in today. He had that diving catch in right center field early in the game, a sliding catch in center. Pop-up slide.
Good baseball right there. Good baseballing. Number 4.
How about the off-balance throw, too?
Yeah, his arm is a weapon. His speed is, every bit about his outfield play is plus.
Tapper foul. Hunter Goodman, 0 for 4.
Little just-in-case action now in the Cubs bullpen.
Swing and a miss. And now the Rockies not only down to their final out. Ferguson has Hunter Goodman down to his final strike. Cubs fans in attendance on their feet. Oh, 0-2 delivery. A deep breath from Ferguson. Check swing. Did not go.
That was Jacob Webb warming up in the bullpen, and obviously the Cubs would prefer not to have to use another arm here today. They're not taking anything for granted. They're going to be ready.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Cubs win. Much needed. Cubs win the finale of this 3-game set. Final score, Cubs 9, Rockies 3.
And it started quietly for the Cubs, 9 up, 9 down to get this ball game started. Then the bats broke out in a big way, and the first time in rare occasions over the last month where they've had a comfortable win as they settle in and take this one 9-3. And good bounce back performance from Edward Cabrera today. He goes 5 1/3, allows 2 runs, and the bullpen comes in to clean it up.
All right, a semi-happy flight. Let's get out of here. For Jim DeShays, Elise Menaker, and our entire crew, I'm Alex Cohen. Thanks for watching Chicago Cubs baseball here on Marquee Sports Network. Your final score, the Chicago Cubs 9 and the Colorado Rockies 3. Tomorrow, Ben Brown and the Cubs are in San Francisco to begin a 3-game series with the Giants. Coverage begins at 8 p.m. Central Time. Up next, Cubs postgame live with Cole Wright and Ryan Sweeney. Cole, smile and take it away.